piece cut, sanded by hand, like the rounding part of it, and inserted, and then here is a sort of a template for where the holes go. Now you can see what was originally printed for where the holes should go, and then you can see some pen holes. Those are where the holes actually are in this neck. Now I could fill the existing holes. I don't have maple, but I have tons of pine or even toothpicks and glue that I could stuff into the hole, drill completely new holes, and basically give this neck a new lease on life. However, I'm not sure I want to fix that. This is the angle that the bolts are actually entering the neck. And part of me just thinks, you know what, I did just drill the holes properly for this 2x4. What happens is the screws just kind of bend as they turn and then straighten out when you pull them back out, for the most part. So I can either, no, that won't focus. I can either maintain the angle that these currently are by maintaining or observing the screw entry points that I was provided. And then of course I have to go out on an angle, but what this definitely means is the poor idiot that installed this or assembled this mini Strat just stood over a workbench and drilled holes through the body holes and to the neck, and then threw screws in there, and was, you know, doing it from one side, which is why they're all angled. It's one of those things where poor workmanship will never get seen because they just don't have that high of quality control. Hence, you can buy one of these silly things for 120 bucks, brand new. Anyway, I'm going to do one or the other. Depends on whether I want to be done in a few minutes or done in a few hours after the glue dries. So, we shall see. You're probably thinking, well, this guy talks a big talk, but let's see if he can actually drill 4 holes perfectly straight. Wow. So let me tell you the story on this guy. I forgot to turn my drill into forward. So I pushed the drill all the way through in reverse, which, you know, I guess in theory could have worked if it wasn't for this big massive knot. So the drill skated horridly and went completely out of the way. You'll notice this one's a little bit off on this side, but, well, anyway. Not terrible, but then again, this whole piece isn't perfectly straight either. It actually slopes down there. So that point's further away from here than that point is of here. Anyway, so now I have to do something with this. And it's probably going to be drill a 1 centimeter hole out and put one of my dowels in and start over, which I could do. Or a bunch of toothpicks and glue, which I don't like because that takes longer to dry. So it looks like now I got to go find my whatever imperial equivalent of 1 centimeter drill bit. Every time I think I'm done. One more second or minute or half an hour of work to do. And in all fairness, then you're probably thinking, how does this guy know his drill isn't in forward? Because I was watching my level bead. Can I get it to show up? No, it's too dirty. You can't see it. Anyway, that's level-ish. And I was watching that carefully to make sure that I remained level all the way through the workpiece. So, yeah, there's 2 lessons learned. Alright, remember when I said just when you think you're done, there's always a few more minutes of work to do? These are all the Allen set screws I just fished out of my sawdust pile. They were all over the place. Why? Well, the bridge was installed and hanging upside down while I was routing. So during that time, they all wiggled themselves free. I mean, I've got bridges where you really have to struggle to turn these things. And on this one, I guess this has seen so little play and humidity and life that these were totally clean. So I get upstairs to my drill press, and I discover that 2 or 3 of these things are sticking up really high. And as I'm turning one of them down by hand, I realize the other ones aren't just not sticking up high, they're just not there. So here are the 9 set screws, or Allen screws, or whatever you want to call them, that I have had to come down here and find, which now cost me 10 minutes of sifting through sawdust. So, another lesson learned. The best lesson lives No, the best life lessons are always free. I'm not convinced that that's pine. I don't know if you can tell. That is not exactly the same kind of wood grain, but whatever. Let's try drilling this hole again. And now for the final incarnation of the Mini Strat, the Mini Strat Hollowbody. Ba-ba. Isn't that weird? So it's everything it claimed to be. It's hollow, and it's a guitar body. I like the way it came out, sort of shape-wise. A lot of sharp edges on it, obviously. The way I've finished it. I may yet replace this material with some actual wood. I have, let me get this into frame. Yeah, I got one more of these doors. It's got a small hole in it where there was a hook, but I don't need it for anything, and I might just cut it up and use the wood, because it's thin panel wood, and then there's little cardboard braces inside to keep it rigid. But it's wood. That would do probably a better job than this stuff. But anyway, this thing is everything I needed it to be. It's my little practice guitar for my whatever scales. Oops. Finish strong. Oops. So, there we go. Another project done. And as always, thanks for watching.